This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Police across the city are responding to more gunfire over the past 12 hours. New details this morning on two separate shootings, one which left a teenager dead.
This is not over, buddy. You better make it right.
A school board facing more blowback over its decision to keep a coach and teacher accused of misconduct. Why some are backing the teacher accused.
Students with designs on a good career. Today in Hiring Hoosiers, how they can start sewing the fabric of their future while they're still in school. Time right now is 5 o'clock. I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Todd, we've got a lot going on weather-wise this morning. There's a little bit of fog out there in some places. It's already hot and humid out there. And we have some storms on the way.
Potentially. All right, we got rid of it. You know, the fog's not terrible. That's the good news. And the visibility's been fluctuating a little bit. And the storm chance later on this afternoon is just a spot chance. So just last half hour, the visibility in Lafayette was down to a half a mile. You see now it's up to 8 miles. But the fog has kind of shifted over towards the Logansport, Peru area just a little bit. Then you have a little bit of patchy fog down near the Greensburg area. So it could be fine in one location, and then you just go a few miles down the street and you run into some lower visibilities. By no means is it dense at this point, but something we'll keep an eye on for you here throughout the course of your morning drive. 60s and 70s this morning, so it's warm. It's still muggy. Yesterday, back up to 90 degrees. That was the second day in a row that we got there, and today potentially going to tack on a third day. So we're mainly clear right now. There's some storms just to our north, and that boundary is just close enough that I think we have to include the chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm during the afternoon hours, but your morning commute should be just fine. 85 by the noon hour, on our way up to a high today of 90 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on traffic right now. Here's a look at our map, and we want to show you that we do have construction over here, westbound I-74 and I-465. We have some road work in that area as well as some lanes blocked. Let's take a look at our INDOT traffic camera right now in that area. You can see the flashing lights there on your screen. Traffic is still getting by in this spot. This is an area we'll continue to monitor, though, and we'll keep you updated throughout the morning. Here at 502, Metro Police have been very busy over the last 24 hours, working several shootings, and that includes one happening late last night that left a 17-year-old dead.
Officers were called just before 11 last night to a home on West Edwards Avenue between Bluff Road and South Meridian Street on the south side. Police arriving on scene found a 17-year-old suffering from a gunshot wound. The teenager died at the scene while medics were treating him. IMPD tells us there was a disagreement between at least two people before the shots were fired, but that's all the information they have released so far.
Also this morning, police continue to investigate after a man was found dead of a gunshot wound inside his car. Investigators were called out to 23rd Street southeast of Burrsdall and Riverside Drive around 5:30 Wednesday evening. The victim was taken to Eskenazi Hospital where he was pronounced dead. That man's name has not yet been released. RTV6 will bring you updates just as soon as we learn some new information.
An update now to a shooting that injured two children on the northeast side. Metro Police now tell us that shooting was an accident. We've been following the investigation since last Friday when officers were called to a home on North Colorado Street. Investigators released new details saying they believe a third child shot the 2-year-old and 5-year-old with a shotgun left in a closet. The kids were not critically injured. The case will be turned over to the prosecutor's office to determine if any charges will be filed.
A murder suspect from Boone County will not face the death penalty for an attack on a couple from Lebanon. Prosecutors say in 2017, Zachariah Wright stabbed and killed 73-year-old Max Foster and then attacked and tried to set fire to the Foster's 68-year-old wife during a home invasion. Then Boone County prosecutor Todd Meyer announced plans to seek the death penalty for Wright. Now, new prosecutor Kent Eastwood says the death penalty is off the table and that he will seek a sentence of life without parole. Wright is now scheduled for a bench trial in November.
This morning, a 20-year-old man is free after a jury found him not guilty of the murder of a bail bondsman. Robert Dew was acquitted of all the charges against him. Dew was accused of killing Byron Frierson in March of last year. Frierson was a bail bondsman whom police say was trying to arrest Dew on an outstanding warrant outside of a funeral home at West 22nd Street in North Illinois. Frierson was shot twice during a struggle and later died. Metro Police say they were also looking for Dew at the time, but they were unaware that the bail bondsman was trying to make an arrest. A Hendricks County school board continues to take heat from parents for keeping a teacher and coach on staff who's accused of sexual misconduct with a student.
And things got pretty tense at the Northwest Hendricks School Board meeting. This happened during a discussion about Tyler Bruce. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny has been following this case, and she explains why things came to a head.
Tri-West teacher and football coach Tyler Bruce remains on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of a criminal investigation. The Department of Education has filed a complaint against Bruce's teaching license. Stacy Lewis has filed a tort claim against the school corporation, claiming the district failed to protect her daughter from Bruce's sexual misconduct.
The four of you decided to keep him on your payroll. They must have had the preponderance of evidence because they made that decision. And they may take him off your payroll. It's a shame you couldn't handle that.
Several other Tri-West High School staff members are also on paid leave in connection with the case.
If they knew about it, they're shameful. And if you guys allow them to stay on your payroll, they'll be out there mowing grass. I'll be damned if they'll be in their house sitting and getting paid. But you guys ought to be ashamed of how you handled it. That's about all I got to say.
Two people spoke up in support of Bruce Tuesday night.
I support your decision based on the fact that there have been no charges against Mr. Bruce. Not through Hendricks County Sheriff's Department, not through the Child Protective Services. We can all slap lawsuits on everybody in this room if we want to. But if we do not have proof to support it, we do not win it.
I've had Tyler Bruce as a teacher, a coach, and a friend, and he's been one of the most influential people in my life. I think he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met, and he continues to be influential in my life.
Some say the district needs better policies to protect students.
Failure to report suspected abuse or neglect is a Class B misdemeanor.
The district announced it's sending 5 Tri-West staff members this week to Title IX training on how to handle sexual misconduct allegations. They'll bring back information to share with the board. Working for you in Hendricks County, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara, thank you. In a statement to Call 6 Investigates, the board says they voted to keep Bruce, quote, based on the preponderance of the evidence delivered at the employee's requested conference with the school board, including administrators, witnesses, and legal representatives, end quote. Well, Bruce has denied the allegations of sexual misconduct, and he has not been charged. Now to hiring Hoosiers. We all have our own sense of style, which makes us different from one another.
And students are capitalizing on the opportunity to learn more about fashion in their merchandising class. Our Aaron Lish is live outside the McKenzie Center this morning. Aaron, did these students give you some insight on the latest trends, or are we looking okay to them this morning?
Yeah, you guys are fine, but make sure that you have your bell bottoms, because I know I do. 70s, that vintage look, that is the hot thing right now. And that's just one thing that these students were working on this week. They dive deeper into fashion merchandising, and they figure out what products will be good for you, the consumer. They focus on critical thinking and problem solving related to that fashion world. So they look into product design, selling, pricing, promotions, and different retail theories. They also work on visual merchandising, and they create their own windows like you'll see walking throughout the mall. Students like London Clark, he wants his designs to be at the Met Gala, and he says this program is really opening his eyes to a potential career while still in school.
It's really helpful being a young person and knowing that, okay, I can do this now. This isn't something I have to necessarily go to college for. I can start now in my basement just making t-shirts, and I could slowly go up and make my own business.
So they put together outfits online, as well as creating a fashion show at the end of the year to show their hard work. And along with learning everything about the fashion world, they're also getting some college credits for business. So that's just an extra bonus to part of this. So we're going to have a little bit more from London in the next half hour, who he idolizes in the fashion world. But for now, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Aaron. The time now is 5:09 as you get ready to start your commute on this Thursday morning. You're walking out to skies that are partly cloudy across the area with temperatures that are generally hovering right around 70 degrees. A couple of you are a little bit below that number. Some of you just above that number. So that's kind of an average for you. A little bit of patchy fog as well, but nothing major. Heading home, once again, a high temperature right around 90 degrees with just a chance of a stray shower in the forecast. So here are the clear skies we're dealing with right now. Up to the north, though, there is a weak little front that is just draped across southern Michigan. And this is just close enough, I think, during the peak heating of the day. We may have to throw in the chance of just a very, very spotty shower. And the further north you are, probably the better chance you have of seeing it. And then as we work our way into tomorrow, that's when this cold front is going to come through. And that's going to give everybody a better chance of seeing some showers. So today, it's another warm one. 90 degrees here in Indy and points down to the south, 92 in Columbus. Upper 80s to the north, but when you throw in the humidity that's still elevated across the area, everybody's going to feel like it's in the 90s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Will the story stay buried for good? Up next, new developments in the plan to dig up the body of an infamous gangster and how a TV channel wants nothing to do with this now.
She was disqualified because a ref said her swimsuit showed too much, but it was the same suit everyone else was wearing. Now a new decision in the case some believe was motivated by prejudice. That's next.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
Welcome back. It's 5:13 on a Thursday, and we're keeping a close eye on your commute. Right now, we are monitoring a traffic hazard here on the northeast side. This is a look at it. You can see those flashing lights off in a distance. The northbound lanes of I-465 near Fall Creek Road. Again, this is on the northeast side of town. Just avoid the two right lanes if you're traveling in that area. Traffic looks to be getting by, still up to speed.
I called Mr. Purvis, and I told him that Dellinger was going to a show. The government agent will follow us. When we came out, they tried to capture Dellinger, and he was killed.
Anna Gage helped federal agents track down and kill John Dillinger, but for years, conspiracy theorists have believed that federal agents killed someone else and only claimed that they got the legendary gangster. Well, a man claiming to be Dillinger's nephew was one of those people, and he now wanted to dig up Dillinger's grave at Crown Hill Cemetery here in Indianapolis to find out whether he was actually inside.
And now it appears, though, that plan is on hold. The History Channel now says it will no longer partner with the Dillinger relative on a documentary. A spokesman for the History Channel says the decision was made to not move forward on the project, which was in the development stage. As part of the show, Dillinger's remains were supposed to be exhumed from their burial site at Crown Hill this month, but the cemetery objected to the plan, and that brought a lawsuit from Dillinger's nephew. A hearing in that lawsuit is scheduled for next month, but a state permit obtained by the Dillinger relative says the body must be exhumed no later than next Monday.
Look, folks, look. Oh, that's my time.
If you need someone to calm tensions between Joe and Kamala, I am not the guy.
Well, it may not be as entertaining as the Showtime series The Cartoon President, but tonight's Democratic presidential debate could help make or break some campaigns. The top 10 candidates will face off in Houston. It will be the first time all of the top-tier candidates in the polls will be on the same debate stage. South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is also looking to revive his poll numbers. A reminder, we'll have live coverage of that debate starting at 8 o'clock tonight here on RTV6.
Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb may face a challenger during his re-election campaign from a fellow Republican. Brian Roth of Carmel has filed paperwork to run against Holcomb in 2020. Roth is a Navy veteran who owns a business called Employment to Deployment. State law says Roth must obtain 4,500 signatures from across the state to get on the ballot. Holcomb is heavily favored to win the Republican nomination, as Roth is his only challenger so far.
An update now to a story we first told you about yesterday on Good Morning Indiana. A high school swimmer in Alaska celebrating a victory today. Her win in a swim meet has been reinstated after a referee disqualified her, claiming her swimsuit was too revealing. But the battle is not over. The Anchorage School District wants that referee decertified, accusing her of targeting the swimmer, quote, based solely on how a standard school-issued uniform happened to fit the shape of her body, end quote. Supporters say the referee was discriminating against the young woman over the body type. Right now it is 5:17. Want to take a turn to our forecast. Todd, another hot one out there.
Yeah, potentially the third day in a row here that we'll be seeing high temperatures up in the 90s. We got to 90 yesterday, and then on Tuesday we had a high temperature of 92 degrees. Yesterday the humidity was up a little bit, and it's still up there here this morning at 91% with that dew point that is sitting at 69 degrees. So that is definitely an uncomfortable range for us. The wind out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. And it was a little breezy yesterday afternoon, so that kind of helped to mix things up at least just a little bit. Here's where we stand currently temperature-wise. Some 60s off towards the west. 70 right now in Richmond, or 72. You just saw a change there. Live on air for you. 70 in Tipton. 69 is the current temperature in Bloomington. So grab the sunglasses. You'll need them here this morning. There's a little bit of patchy fog in spots to the north, but it's not widespread and it's not super dense. But nonetheless, I need to point it out for you in case you're traveling in those locations or you live up there this morning. But there is a weak little front that is making its way through Michigan. That's where the storm track was last night. They had lots and lots of heavy rainfall and thunderstorm activity in southwest Michigan over towards Detroit as well as you worked your way eastward. And it's not out of the question that that boundary is just close enough to flare up a few isolated storms in our forecast heading into the afternoon hours, but it will not be a line of storms like they're seeing off towards the north. And here's how it looks on TrueCast. Again, it's not a great chance of rain. It's just a spotty downpour maybe here or there starting to flare up during the peak heating of the day. And then as soon as the sun starts to set, these showers will start to fade away very, very quickly. So overall, it's a decent day. I wouldn't bank on rain. Just know that there is the chance of a stray storm out there this afternoon. 84 already by the noon hour. Our high today, 90 degrees. That should occur right around 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then still warm and muggy heading into the evening hours. And check this out. I mentioned it yesterday. Well, here it is officially. Sunset now before 8 o'clock this evening at 7:59 tonight. Temperature still at 82 degrees, then falling into the 70s as the evening progresses. Looking ahead for you into your Friday and eventually into your Saturday, 88 degrees tomorrow. A little better chance of some scattered storms as the front comes through. And then Saturday is just a little bit cooler. The big difference, though, heading into Saturday, not so much the temperature, it's going to be the humidity. That is going to be much lower in the forecast. Back to TrueCast we go, though, for tonight and into tomorrow. Your Friday morning commute should be just fine, and most of the day tomorrow is going to be decent. But you notice this band of cloud cover with a few scattered showers. TrueCast not picking up as much in the way of rainfall for tomorrow, but I do think there will be a broken line of showers that goes through mid-afternoon, but that sets us up again for a sun-filled weekend. Temperatures, though, by next Monday, back up to right around 90 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look right now from our NDOT traffic camera on the northeast side. It looks like whatever the traffic hazard was that they were dealing with has wrapped up. That was on the northbound lanes near 79th Street, so everything looks to be traveling about up to speed. Just one little flashing light there off in the distance, but nothing to cause any delays in your commute. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map. Over here on the west side, still monitoring some construction and the closure of the ramp here going on westbound I-74 from I-465, but everything there is still traveling smoothly this morning. No major delays or issues in your commute.
Some tough news for us Purdue Boilermaker fans this morning. Linebacker Marcus Bailey will miss the rest of the season. The senior suffered a knee injury during last weekend's win over Vanderbilt. Bailey is the team's co-captain and expected to be a leader on defense this year. He had a sack against Vandy and 10 tackles in the season opener against Nevada. He'll be missed when the Boilermakers host TCU this Saturday night. Get well soon, Marcus.
Yeah, well, Miles Turner of the Pacers will not be coming home with the gold from basketball's World Cup. Turner and the U.S. men's team were upset by France in the quarterfinals Wednesday in China. Turner and the rest of Team USA had a lot of trouble with France's Rudy Gobert, and he had 21 points and 16 rebounds. The U.S. came from behind, but then blew a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter to lose 89-79. It snaps a 58-game winning streak for the U.S. men in the World Cup or Olympic play. The U.S. plays Serbia today, and the best they can finish is 5th place.
They wanted to trademark the word you use hundreds of times each day. I just used it there. Next on Good Morning Indiana, will this Big Ten powerhouse get to make money off that 3-letter word? We'll tell you coming up next.
At Ross, yes for less.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana, 525 on your Thursday, and here's a live look to our northwest I-65 near 56th Street. You can see all the orange barrels here are pulled back off the interstate, so no lanes look to be restricted at this time. That is great news for your commute through this area. Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes visit IU this weekend, a big game for the Hoosiers, but Ohio State won't be able to use part of the school's name to make money, at least part of it that the school's supporters like to use.
Buckeye backers like to refer to the Columbus school as the Ohio State University, so much so they went to the federal government this summer to try to trademark the word "the." This week, Ohio State found out that it probably won't be able to trademark the most frequently used word in the English language. The U.S. Trademark Office says the word "the" appears to be used in a merely decorative manner that would be perceived by consumers as having little or no particular source identifying the significance. The office says it would allow Ohio State to alter its application to reapply for the trademark in the future. I wish I could have kept track of how many times we said the word "the" in that script, just to kind of prove their point.
Here's the Todd Clausen with your forecast.
The forecast.
I am
for
not
the
saying
week.
anything about that state off to the east. It's all about Indiana this week.
That's right.
All right, outside right now, we are dealing with warm and muggy conditions here as temperatures in the 70s this morning, warming to 83 degrees by the noon hour. It's muggy as well, so it's a warm, muggy start, but plenty of sunshine to start the day. And as we work our way into the afternoon hours, highs again right around 90 degrees in most locations, and just a chance of a stray storm this afternoon. But more than anything, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. So have the water handy. You'll need it throughout the day. Some changes arrive for the weekend. More on that coming up in the next half hour of Good Morning Indiana. We'll talk more about it coming up. See you in a bit.
Working for you. This is Good Morning Indiana. Working for you.
A shooting leaves a teen dead on the city's south side.
Breaking overnight what police say happened in the moments before the gunfire. Plus, Hoosier officials are investigating more cases of vaping-related illnesses.
Yeah, this morning, how national leaders are working to combat that outbreak. But first, before we get to your top stories, we do want to talk about your forecast. Another hot one out there.
Yeah, and Todd, there's a lot going on that you need to get to as we head into our weekend here.
Yeah, you know, there's a cold front coming through tomorrow with some showers and storms, and I'll kind of change the weather pattern a little bit heading into the weekend in a good way, as it will drop the humidity. This morning we're dealing with a little bit of patchy fog. You notice all the numbers that you see on the screen, which are airport readings, not bad at all, but in between some of these airport readings where you see this gray, there is a little bit of dense fog, especially up towards the Logansport and Monticello area, so just be aware that it's out there. Otherwise, temperatures this morning with a mainly clear sky are in the 60s and 70s for us, and you can see on our satellite radar picture all the actions up to the north. Once again, some storms this morning moving through the Chicago area, but that's where the main storm track stays. Yes, there could be an isolated storm that pops up this afternoon, especially in northern locations, but it should be very, very isolated. So otherwise, partly cloudy skies, mid-80s already by the noon hour. Then as we track you hour by hour throughout the rest of your afternoon, high temperatures will be topping off right around 90 degrees. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out the door. Good morning to you here in Greenwood. This is a look at I-65 near the Main Street exit. Traffic is moving along smoothly, both northbound and southbound, already picking up at this early hour. No crashes here to slow you down. Let's take a look at our traffic now map. We are monitoring this road work over here near the ramp to westbound I-74 and I-465. Right now, it's not slowing down traffic too much. That is good news. Taking a look right now at a drive time as you're heading in on I-70 eastbound this morning from the Ronald Reagan Parkway into the downtown area. I-65 at the south split, just a 12-minute drive, so no problems there. Over on the west side, let's take a live look to the southwest right now. I-465 and Man Road. You can see a lot of headlights moving across your screen. Traffic is traveling up to speed in both directions. No crashes here. We'll continue, though, to keep a close eye on your roads and let you know if there are any delays. Now to breaking news from overnight. A 17-year-old has died following gunfire on the city's south side.
The shooting happened around 11 last night on Edwards Avenue. That's off Meridian Street, just south of Hannah Avenue. Avenue. Police say when they arrived, they found the teen with at least one gunshot wound. He died while medics were treating him. Police say there was some sort of disagreement just before this shooting, but at this hour, police have not told us if they are looking for a suspect.
Well, the investigation into a crash killing a teen on the city's north side continues this morning. Police say that teen was riding a mini bike just before 8 o'clock last night on West Coyle Streets, just off Michigan Road. Police say the driver turned off of Michigan Road, hit the teen from behind. Authorities say the driver then got out of the car and ran away. Police say they're working to learn what led up to that crash.
They're going to process the car so that they can actually prove positively who was driving the vehicle. They will talk to that driver and try and determine if maybe because of the diminished light they didn't see it, or if he just wasn't paying attention, or what exactly led to the crash. Why was it that he didn't see the motorcycle?
Authorities say the car was registered to a person who lives nearby. They're now working to see if any charges will need to be filed in that case.
The city of Carmel says one of its police officers who is accused of driving drunk had a blood alcohol content more than twice the legal limit. Police stopped Carmel officer Brian Hood Tuesday evening near City Center Drive and Rangeline Road. Hood was driving his personal vehicle. During the stop, officers determined Hood had been drinking and performed a breath test. Investigators say Hood registered a 0.19% BAC and he was booked into the Hamilton County Jail. He's now on paid leave pending the outcome of the investigation.
At 5:34 new this morning, a man and a woman from Brazil, Indiana are facing charges after reportedly making threats towards several Clay County DCS workers. State police say 32-year-old Jacinda Batchelor and 25-year-old John Pastrick made the threats when they arrived for a scheduled chemical test. Police say the pair was confrontational, made verbal threats, and used violent gestures towards the staff members. Batchelor and Pastrick both face intimidation charges. Well, neighbors in Martinsville, they're concerned about their safety this morning.
That's because police are now investigating 2 deaths that happened within a week that are not far from each other. Investigators say the first death happened on September 4th near Garfield Avenue and Crawford Street. Officers found a woman dead near the intersection there. Police say the second death happened on September 10th on South Lincoln Street. Police found a woman's body inside of a home. Both cases are still under investigation, and police say there is no evidence suggesting the deaths are related.
At 5:35, a portion of a busy road on the northeast side of Indianapolis scheduled to close, and it starts this morning. Fall Creek between 71st and 79th Streets will shut down in both directions for construction. Detours will be posted. Crews with the Department of Public Works will be working to replace a bridge rail and a culvert. Well, New York Fashion Week is underway. We're going to see the latest trends and styles.
But students at the McKenzie Center are learning how to get into the fashion world through merchandising. Our Erin Lish is live there now. And Erin, what are students gaining from this class?
Well, you know, they're learning how to connect with shoppers through business techniques while they're figuring out their sense of style and fashion along the way.
Going through the clothes racks.
These probably are actually the best jeans. These are more of a slim fit type of vibe.
London Clark completes a look in the fashion merchandising program. And just in the other room,
it's more of a simple, sleek look.
Students put together virtual outfits.
Vintage, okay, you ought to be able to find a lot because that's the trend right now. Vintage 70s.
They go in depth on marketing practices that support the sales of products that you buy while learning how to design.
Well, I like to look nice, so I just figured this would be a great opportunity to learn about fashion.
They take their sense of fashion and build displays for visual merchandising to attract customers like you in stores.
So they can actually see what it's like to create that window at Nordstrom or at Saks.
They focus on selling, pricing, retail cycles, and of course, fashion design. This program giving Clark a vision for his future.
I can do this now. This isn't something I have to necessarily go to college for. I can start now in my basement just making t-shirts, and I could slowly go up and make my own business.
For Clark, he wants the glitz and the glamour and to show his creativity and fashion for those on the red carpet.
It's really interesting to see how people just wear whatever they want and it inspires others. So I want to be one of those people.
So we were chatting a little bit about who we admire in fashion. I said Blake Lively. London says that he likes Russell Westbrook, and he says he hopes to dress these celebrities at the Met Gala. That is his ultimate goal. And while he's doing all of this, he will be getting college credit in business for a class that he really enjoys. Back to you in the studio.
Some pretty cool goals there. Thank you, Aaron. There are growing calls for the Food and Drug Administration to take action amid more reports of deaths and illnesses related to vaping. The Indiana Department of Health is now investigating 34 respiratory illnesses connected to electronic cigarettes. Vaping is the confirmed cause in 8 of those cases, and there was 1 reported death in the state.
And this morning, the Trump administration is moving to ban some flavored e-cigarettes. It comes amid growing concerns about vaping-related lung illnesses. As ABC's Kenneth Moten reports, critics call the proposed ban a knee-jerk reaction.
This morning, a possible nationwide ban on some e-cigarettes. The federal government says it's finalizing plans to remove e-cigarette products from the market that have fruit and candy flavors.
Vaping has become a very big business.
With the First Lady at his side, President Trump shared a personal reason for considering the ban, saying electronic cigarettes pose a risk to children the same age as their son, Barron.
We can't allow people to get sick, and we can't have our youth be so affected. And I'm hearing it, and that's how the First Lady got involved.
New data shows more than a quarter of high school students are current e-cigarette users, and the overwhelming majority use fruit and menthol or mint flavors. The CDC is investigating more than 450 cases of lung-related illnesses believed to be linked to e-cigarettes or vaping. At least 6 people have now died.
Data just shows the kids are getting access to these products. In spite of our best efforts, we simply have to remove these attractive flavored products from the marketplace.
Authorities say they have not found a particular device or product that is the source of the recent illnesses. E-cigarette company Juul says it will comply with any new policy. The FDA recently warned the company to stop claiming its products are safer than regular cigarettes. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
Kenneth, thank you very much. An auto repair shop lost its battle to stay in its longtime home on the north side of Indianapolis. Now the shop is starting fresh in a different building. Ties Automotive posted pictures on Facebook of its new location at 5050 North Keystone. RTV6 told you back in April, for decades, Ty Tar's shop was connected to a small Circle K and Shell gas station at 49th Street and Pennsylvania Street. Circle K did not renew Tar's lease, which led to backlash in the community. The shop's Facebook post says a lot of people attended the new location's grand opening. At 5:40, we're going to get a look at our forecast. Todd, what you got behind you there?
That would be the International Space Station, which will be making an appearance here in just about 45 minutes or so. If you want to take a look at it, and the skies are partly cloudy, so you should have pretty good visibility this morning. It's going to appear right around 6:30. It's going to start off low off in the northwestern sky, and then it's going to pass about 62 degrees above the horizon, and you only have about 6 minutes to see it. So it's going to go again from northwest to southeast for about 6 minutes, just basically about 62 degrees above the horizon. So good opportunity here. It's going to zip by pretty quickly, so but always something that people like to check out when visible here. As far as the rest of the day, we're still in that very muggy category for you temperature-wise across the area. These are heat index values, not actual temperatures, but it's going to feel like it's around 90 degrees already by the time we get to the noon hour. Then peak heat index values probably up to about 95 to maybe 96 degrees. So it's another hot and humid day, but some changes are heading our way starting tomorrow. More on that coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. If you have a Chevy, Cadillac, or GMC parked in your driveway, you'll want to stick around after the break. Why General Motors is recalling millions of trucks and SUVs.
And here at 541, I want to give you a live look at traffic here, I-65 and State Road 334, the Whitestown area. Good morning to you. You can see your commute is smooth on the interstate this morning. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up for you right after the break. Stick around.
Claritin D. Get more.
10 Democratic presidential candidates will take the stage in the third debate tonight in Houston. It'll be the first time all the frontrunners will be on stage together. The debate, hosted by ABC News and Univision, will feature former Vice President Joe Biden, Senators Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren. Beto O'Rourke, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Julian Castro, Andrew Yang round out the field. Remember, you can watch the 10 Democratic presidential contenders go head-to-head tonight at 8 only on RTV6. Then be sure to stay tuned for RTV6 News at 11.
At 5:45, the Environmental Protection Agency is expected to announce today that it's going to do away with the Clean Water Regulation. The regulation is called Waters of the United States, and it was put in place by the Obama administration back in 2015. It basically lays out which bodies of water are protected under the Federal Clean Water Act. Republicans have called this government overreach, but Democrats say it's necessary to prevent pollution. The head of the EPA calls this move a cost-saving measure.
General Motors is recalling nearly 3.5 million pickups and SUVs to fix a brake problem. The company says there's been more than 100 crashes and 13 injuries related to the issue. Recalled models include the Cadillac Escalade, GMC Yukon, and Sierra. Also impacted are Chevy Silverado, Suburban, and Tahoe. All of the vehicles were made between 2014 and 2018. GM says the problem is a faulty vacuum pump that may force drivers to put more pressure on brakes. GM says dealers will fix the problem at no cost to customers.
Nearly a dozen inmates in Louisiana are recovering after being hit by lightning while they were out in a prison yard. The incident happened at David Wade Correctional Institute near Shreveport. Prison officials say this incident left shoes scattered, benches overturned, debris scattered all over the prison grounds. State offenders were playing flag football at the time. State offenders, the prison warden rather, says that the sun was shining right before this lightning took place, and so obviously a crazy situation there. Todd, no worries about lightning though this morning.
No, not at all. This morning we're just fine, but that's why we always tell you that's an example right there. Lightning can stretch 10 miles away from the center of the storm, so it could be sunny in your neighborhood, but if there's storms impending, you certainly need to head inside. That's why all those warnings go out well in advance. Not sure if there was a warning there or not, but nonetheless, lightning makes every thunderstorm dangerous. So it's hot and humid once again today for us here in central Indiana. There are some small storm chances going forward in this forecast. I'm not expecting severe weather. That is the good news. And then for those of you who are kind of loving this warmth here in the middle of September, it looks like much of next week is going to be warm once again. Outside right now, temperatures are in the 60s and 70s for you. These temperatures are not going to fall much more further here down into the 60s this morning because we're just got that southwesterly wind, and that's keeping the temperatures really from falling off much here this morning. And here's the mainly clear sky we're enjoying as of right now. So two things to point out on the map. You see this band of showers and storms moving through Chicago and lower Michigan. That is part of a warm front. And then this broken line of showers and storms off to the west, that is a cold front. That cold front is due to arrive tomorrow, but this front to our north is just close enough, I think, that we'll have to keep the chance of a stray shower or maybe thunderstorm flaring up during the peak heating of the day later on this afternoon. Again, nothing severe, but there could be a quick downpour and maybe a rumble of thunder, and that should be just about it. So the further south you are, the lower your rain chances are. The further north you are, just a better chance of seeing that stray shower or storm. Outside of that, though, we will have partly cloudy skies throughout the day today. And look how quickly we warm. Already up to 85 degrees by the noon hour, 87 degrees by 2 p.m., and then we'll kind of hold steady in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees as we work our way throughout the afternoon. So it's a warm day today. Tomorrow, not quite as warm. We're up into the mid-80s, but we don't probably get to 90 because a front's going to arrive tomorrow, and that's going to bring around the showers and maybe a few thunderstorms to the forecast during the mid-afternoon, early evening hours. So obviously with high school football, we need to time this out for you. And TrueCast has kind of fallen off on the precipitation, but I do think as this front goes through, there will be enough moisture that during the afternoon hours, we'll have to keep in at least the chance of some scattered showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm. But this cold front is just really going to knock the humidity down. It's not going to take the temperatures down much heading into the weekend. So tomorrow evening, kickoff about 84 degrees as we work our way towards the end of those games. Temperatures should still be right around 80 degrees. Saturday, 83. So it's cooler, but the big difference is the humidity is a lot lower as well. Then as we head into next week, that heat builds right back back in with highs near 90 Sunday all the way through Tuesday.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're taking a close look at your commute, and here's a look at some drive times on the south side as you're traveling northbound on State Road 37, starting down at State Road 144 near Barkersville, heading all the way up to the I-465 ramps at the Harding Street exit. No delays. Everything's traveling up to speed. It's a 14-minute commute at this hour. Then taking a turn over here to northbound I-65 as you're hopping on the interstate at Southport Road and you're taking that all the way to I-70 at the North Split. You can expect just a 10-minute drive. Let's take a live look right now from our NDOT traffic camera. This is over on the east side of town. I-70 and Sherman Drive. You can see traffic in this area is picking up. Lots of headlights moving across your screen. No crashes, though, to slow you down, so that's great news for your morning commute.
A Florida-based company is moving to the Midwest, and that means it's hiring Hoosiers. Sitel Group is investing more than $4 million to open a contact center in Fishers. The company works in customer service and plans to hire and train 350 claims adjusters by the end of the year. Several career fairs will be held in the coming weeks. For more information about opportunities with the company, go to hiringhoosiers.com and click on this story.
Well, a family issues a social media plea to help surprise their little boy battling cancer for his birthday. Just after the break, we'll show you the incredible response from that community.
Plus, Boilermaker fans headed to Saturday's game can help those impacted by Hurricane Dorian. Download the RTV6 app right now to read what organizers say is needed the most in the hard-hit areas of the Bahamas. We'll be right back.
Learn more at 50sfestival.com.
They go together like peanut butter and jelly, Bert and Ernie, and even Batman and Robin. We're talking about Waffles, the 6.5-year-old mini horse who loves grass, carrots, and this farm goose named Hemingway. They just got a new home together. The pair were picked up in July at a Pennsylvania farm that was in bad shape. When Waffles got sick, Hemingway was right by his side with his head and neck on his friend, comforting him, a connection that ended up making international headlines. Well, we are happy to report their new owner picked up the dynamic duo yesterday.
So cute.
I want to know where they went, though.
I know. I want more details.
All right, we'll have to find that out.
Well, a little boy battling cancer in Virginia is buzzing with excitement after an epic birthday surprise. Whitaker Weinberger's parents wanted to make his 4th birthday special, and that's because he's been sick every birthday of his young life. Well, the boy who loves the Bumblebee character from Transformers, so they wanted to put out a plea on social media for yellow vehicles to surprise him. Their plea was answered when 200 yellow cars from all across the country showed up to surprise him.
We don't know Whitaker, but we're here to support and uplift this 4-year-old and help him have a happy birthday.
The yellow cars in every shape and size lined Whitaker's 1-mile walk to school. Tesla sent Whitaker his own little custom-made yellow Tesla to ride in. Paramount and Hasbro also sent the family gifts.
Cool.
So fun.
I love how there were taxis there, too. That is so great. Look at all those yellow cars.
Fire truck.
So much fun.
Oh, I love that story. Okay, well, we want to get to another story today, and that's in the weather department. Todd, what's going on out there?
You know, more of the same. We're still dealing with this heat. We're still dealing with the humidity. 2 days in a row. We've hit 90 now today. Potentially going to be the 3rd day in a row, making this late season heat wave a reality across central Indiana. Technically, you need 3 days of 90-degree temperatures in a row for it to be classified as a heat wave. 72 right now in Indy, 74 currently in Muncie. Radar's quiet now. Can't rule out the chance of maybe a stray or spot storm this afternoon. But otherwise, we are just looking at hazy sunshine, 90 degrees. But when you factor in that humidity, 90 is going to feel more like 95 to 97 this afternoon.
Todd, thank you. Our Classroom to Career series continues this morning. Coming up at 6, our Aaron Lish introduces us to a program preparing students for the fashion industry.
And a terrifying moment in the sky. This video captured the moment after an airplane in Canada had a fire coming out of its engine. More on the plane's remarkable landing coming up on Good Morning America. It is 5:57. We'll be right back after the break.